This has been bugging me for a while. With all the coronavirus nonsense and all that, there's been, of course, a run on a few things here and there because some people are fucking children and can't control themselves. So this leads uninformed, uneducated, illiterate, ignorant. What do you call it when you're math illiterate? I think you just call it math illiterate. But in short, it causes stupid people to throw around terms like price gouging. The title that I used for this it's not hyperbole. Price gouging is imaginary. There's no such thing. You cannot, in a free market, you cannot price gouge. There are only prices that accurately reflect market conditions and prices that don't accurately reflect market conditions. Let's imagine you have $50 in your pocket. You have stacks of toilet paper at home and a clean bum. You go to the store and you see that there is one package of toilet paper on the shelf for $50. Do you buy it? No, you don't. You don't buy it. And you grumble to yourself, how dare they? How dare they charge $50? Well, you've got a stack of toilet paper at home, right? You got a clean bum. You don't have a strong need for toilet paper right now. Now, let's imagine that you just flew into town, you got no toilet paper, and you ate like 3 Taco Bell burritos. You need some toilet paper. Now that $50 starts to maybe begin looking like it's worth buying. Now, maybe it's still not worth it yet. Maybe there are alternatives. Maybe you go to a public restroom and use the paper towels, or maybe you just shit and shower. Squish it down the drain with your toes, right? But the bottom line is that at some point, you may decide to purchase that. At some point, now, in a free market, it's entirely your choice. You decide whether it's worth it or not. But here's the important thing. If prices, now obviously $50 is unrealistic. That's not a likely price for a 4-pack of toilet paper anywhere, regardless of market conditions. But it helps get the point across. At some point, the value of those goods to you increases. And that point is when you don't have them. Here's why it matters. In our example, in the first part, you walked into the store, you said, nope, that's too much, and you left it on the shelf. And that's the critical part. Because that higher price caused you to make the decision to leave it behind for someone who needs it a lot more than you do. See, if retailers don't adjust prices to match market conditions, that causes scarcity. That causes empty shelves. The most efficient way possible to distribute finite resources is for retailers to decide what price to sell things at. Now, it's always a gamble for them. They have to do a bit of tea leaf reading, and there's educated guesses that they can make. There's a lot of tools at their disposal to make these decisions, but at the end of the day, it's a bit of a gamble. Because if they price something too low, it'll all sell out. If they price something too high, they can't sell enough of it to pay the bills. So they gotta choose a price that matches market conditions. And this is in normal times, when as demand fluctuates normally, they've got to change prices incrementally. When demand increases dramatically and outstrips supply, you absolutely must increase prices. Now, people are rightly criticizing cheaper than dirt for some really shitty business practices. But the criticism is mostly wrong. So what I mean by that is people are right to criticize cheaper than dirt. Cheaper than dirt is absolutely 100%, you're right. Yes, they're very scummy, but they're not scummy for raising prices. They're scummy for fraud. Back in 2008, a bunch of people placed orders for magazines. Man, I think that ARs and ammo. I don't remember everything that was involved, so pardon me if I'm off on the details. But the important takeaway is that people placed orders for items that Cheaper Than Dirt said were in stock and offered at a given price. Then Cheaper Than Dirt turned around and canceled those orders so that they could relist the items, the merchandise. That's scummy as fuck. That's fraud. That's just being a really, really awful person. Hopefully they don't do that anymore. I don't know if they're going to do it this time around or not. I don't know. I would hope that they don't. I think that it's an unethical thing to do. You're lying to people. You're telling people that you have this thing, that you will sell it at this price, and you sell it to them. Now, if it was out of stock or if the order didn't go through or whatever, that's all different. What I'm talking about is where you go through with the sale until you realize, oh, wait, we can make a lot more money off of this, then decide, no, I'm not going to sell it. During that time, the other sources. So what happens in that whole mechanic there is a consumer sees a price, sees several prices. It's not like this is happening in a vacuum. He looks at the competitors. He sees several different prices. He says, "I'll take that one. This is worth it for me." Chooses that one, and instead of another seller that was maybe slightly more expensive. Now, when the order's canceled, he loses that opportunity that he had because he was lied to. That's some bullshit. Take it easy, buddy. Breathe. I'm driving, so I can't read your comments. I saw the one guy, take it easy, buddy. It looks like you came in partway through it. It's like I said, price gouging is imaginary communist bullshit. If you believe in free markets, if you are not a pinko commie bastard, then you cannot believe in price gouging. That's not a thing. Oh, but Texas has laws. Well, Texas is wrong. They shouldn't. They shouldn't have laws about what people can price things at. Deal with it. You don't have enough water? One, you screwed up, not the retailer. Two, you don't have enough water. You should be grateful for water that's available for purchase, even if you think the price is more than it ought to be. Because here's why people get into this mistake. Here's why people make the error of thinking the price gouging is a thing. Because they think that the choices between a case of water, toilet paper, whatever the thing is, they think that the choices between the merchandise offered for sale at a reasonable price versus the merchandise offered for sale at a greedy corporate price. Well, that's not the choice. The real choice in conditions of scarcity, the real choice is the goods available for sale or not available for sale. That's the real choice. So don't get mad about something being priced higher than you'd like it to be. If it's higher than you're willing to pay, don't buy it. Look for it somewhere else. Wait, save up, whatever. Or bite the bullet and buy it. But it's a lot better than the shelves just being empty because the other guy got there before you did. See, that's what really happens with price fixing. Price fixing doesn't mean that you get to buy things at a price that you want to. What it means is that those things sell out before you can buy them. And producers and retailers can't keep up with demand. And in some cases, they can't even keep the doors open. So when you see people talking about price gouging in the forums and whatnot, tell them they're full of shit. Tell them they're wrong. Tell them they're a commie. Because people who believe in price gouging are commies. One more thing before I go, it didn't really justify another video, but I thought you guys would enjoy this funny little story. As you can imagine, I'm in VPN hell right now because every idiot who can't do basic computering has to try to do basic computering on their own equipment to try to figure out how to work from home, because people are children. They have to be led by the hand. I don't want to dump too much on this, but this fucking retard walks into my office today. Now, normally, my door's propped open. I want people to come into my office and tell me about the things that they've done that are stupid and cause problems, because that's how we fix problems, is finding the problems. So far this week, I don't know if you noticed with the ARPCOM news and all that, but I was out of town last week visiting my dad in Oregon. This is my first few days working during the middle of this whole crisis thing. I don't want to use any of those trigger words. I can say bullshit fuck all I want, I think. But I couldn't say that one thing about the spiky ball that gets inside of you and makes you have the sniffles. So, my door has been closed to my office all week. And partly just because I'm an antisocial bastard, and it's a good excuse, but partly because, we all as a society should be trying to limit physical contact as much as possible to reduce the rate of spread. You know the drill. You've seen it all across the social medias and the flatten the curve and all that shit. You know it all. Yes. Keep the door closed. I only venture out of my office if I have to. Yeah, it's ready. I know. It's ready. So the guy knocks on my door. I don't answer it because I'm on the phone in a meeting. He just walks in anyway. I'm like, I'm on the phone, dude. So he's like, oh, okay, and he walks out. Comes back a few minutes later. Again, knocks on my door. I don't answer it. That's what we have email and phones and shit for. Fuck you, really. But he knocks on my door, walks in again, and you're gonna think I'm shitting you, but this dude literally licks his hand. I mean, not like he didn't just like walk in and say, hey, look, but he's talking to me about his issue, and like maybe 20 seconds into the conversation, like a nervous tick, he licks his hand. That's all I have to say about that. I love you.